So we don't have the hadith starting times. Let's do the finishing times. Bismillah.
Then Jibreel came to him the next day when a man's shadow was equal to his height, and he said, "Get up, O Muhammad, and pray." So he prayed Dhuhr.
Dhuhr. So yesterday where the Asr started, today he prayed Dhuhr. Yeah? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now that means Dhuhr is from the time of after Zawal till the Asr starts. Yeah? That's Dhuhr time. So he prayed earliest and that's the latest time to pray Dhuhr. Now.
Then Jibreel came to him when a man's shadow was equal to twice his length, and he said, "Get up, O Muhammad, and pray." So he prayed Asr.
Now, when it became where the Hanafis actually start their Asr. This is another subject, inshallah. We'll get there when we get there. We'll discuss. They said this is where the Asr stops. Asr stops at the time when the Maghrib starts, but when after that point, when sun starts to become dimmer or not as sharp, you can look at it, then it is makruh to pray, to delay Asr there for no reason. To delay Asr so much that the sun has lost its power. It hasn't lost it, but to you, when you're looking at it, it's not as sharp to the eyes. So it's makruh. But according to this hadith, and you will see some of the madhahib, that this is the end of Asr. Others say till Maghrib, but this is the time best to pray Asr.
Then he came to him for Maghrib when the sun set at exactly the same time as the day before, and said, "Get up, O Muhammad, and pray." So he prayed Maghrib.
What do we know now? So Maghrib, the first day he came, as soon as the sun set, he said, "Pray." Second day he came, as soon as the sun set, "Pray." Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, at the end, what does the hadith say? Between the two times is your time for Salah. So what does that tell you for Maghrib? Maghrib, you really have no time to waste. That's why further in the course maybe we'll discuss that some madhahib, they say after Salah of Adhan of Maghrib you should pray 2 rakats. Others say no time for 2 rakats, just pray Maghrib straight away. This hadith will come. This hadith is very important. For weeks and weeks we'll keep referring back to it. Okay, go ahead.
Then he came to him for Isha when the first third of the night had passed, and said, "Get up and pray." So he prayed Isha.
So 1/3 of the night starts from where? Is it from Isha till Fajr or from Maghrib till Fajr? The night starts at Maghrib. Night starts at Maghrib. That's one view according to this hadith, and we'll bring different riwayat where you can pray. It says you can pray Salah up to the start of Fajr. So one madhab is according to this hadith. The other madhab, which we'll discuss a bit later inshallah, maybe next week, which says until the next Salah time, except in the case of Fajr, when the Fajr finishes, Dhuhr doesn't start till Zawal. So every Salah ends when the next one starts. Okay? But this hadith you will have to remember. So those who are not here today, they will struggle because I will keep referring back to it. So now we are clear what we are saying? Okay. So this hadith is very important for this subject, inshallah. I'll quickly go through my notes on the timing of Salah. Once I've done that, we will go through one madhab by madhab, what they say about the timing of Salah. This is in general, and then we will do one madhab each, and inshallah we'll finish it hopefully today in 20 minutes or so. So, Waqtu Salatul Fajr, the time of Salatul Fajr. So I explained there are 2 types of Fajr, Kadhib, Sadiq. I'm not going to go through that. Kadhib is the Subh Kadhib or Fajr Kadhib or fake Fajr is the time when you see the light, but it's not horizontal over the horizon. It's just at like a pillar at one point. You will see it for a few minutes, you don't see it for too long. That you can still eat at that time. You can still drink at that time. If you are fasting, you can keep eating. And if Fajr doesn't start at that point, Fajr will start. So the first light you ignored. The second light, which is over the, all the way on the horizon, this is where the Fajr starts. It's a very faint light, but you see, you will know from the dark till the light. Okay? Okay. When does Fajr end? It ends at the sunrise. As soon as sun rises, you see the rays, you know, this is the end of Fajr. Okay. Waqt of Dhuhr, Allah says, أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس. Duluk means zawal. When it starts going down, this is where the Dhuhr Salah starts. So from solar noon, that's called solar noon. Okay, when it passed that point, when the sun has reached the highest point on our sky from where we are for the day, and at that point the shadow is the shortest. The shadow of anything for that day, the shortest is at the point of zawal, the solar noon. And this is where the Dhuhr starts few minutes after that. As soon as the sun starts moving, you won't be able to see sun moving straight away because it's not something so visible. It's very slightly, but you know, you have zawal. Couple of minutes later, 3-4 minutes later, you can start praying. Okay. By that moment, the shadow will start to grow. End of Dhuhr. The end of Dhuhr is when the shadow of everything becomes equal to itself. Yes? That's the end of Dhuhr. But the Hanafis, they have other view. They said when the shadow of everything becomes 2 times itself. Clear? So far? But it is preferred in all madhahib to pray Dhuhr before the first shadow finishes. The Dhuhr shouldn't be left that late. Even though the Ahnaf say the Dhuhr time is until 2 shadows of anything after the Zawal, when the shadow of everything becomes equal to 2 times itself. But, and the other madhab says only 1 time itself. But all madhab say you should pray by that time anyway. This is the preferred time to pray. Okay? So a person, to be on the safe side, should always pray his Dhuhr before the first shadow. The shadow of everything has become equal to itself once. Right? This is I think is a good way to go about. Just because you study Hanafi fiqh, there's no point arguing. I personally, you may completely agree with the other view, but I say personally, it's probably best to not delay Dhuhr that far. Asr time, whenever Asr starts, the Dhuhr is ended. So Hanafi says the Asr starts at 2 length of everything, shadow of twice its length, since the Zawal, since the solar noon, right? So they said the Asr starts after that point. And the other madhahib, they say the Asr starts once the shadow is equal to 1 time itself. So it would be to delay the Asr start. If you want to pray Asr according to this hadith after shadow of one thing, fine. But if you delay a little bit, as long as the sun hasn't become, the light hasn't become dimmer, or it's not shining as strong enough, so you're not allowed to leave it that late. But to pray a little bit late is not a problem. Okay? But some fuqaha, as you will learn again, they prefer in the first time. And according to this hadith, they would be right. And the Hanafis, they take the view of praying a little bit later, but not as late when it becomes yellowish or doesn't become, it's not as sharp like Dhuhr. When does Asr end? At sunset. The moment the sun has set, the Asr ends. Okay? But other madhab is the Asr Salah should be prayed before it has reached the 2 length of each anything, the shadow reaching twice its length from the time of solar noon. Hanafis, they say it ends when but the right view, when we look at more hadith, the more strong view, even in all madhahib, you will find the Asr actually ends at Maghrib. Because Nabi Sallallahu has prayed Asr late at time as well. And the hadiths on this matter are unbelievable. I wanted to cover this hadith because it's relied on many madhahib. But inshallah, as we go through, we'll bring more hadith until the student will have a good view of all the proofs before we end the subject, inshallah. I don't want to bombard you with all the hadith now. Okay? So, all fuqaha, they agree that it is disliked, or if I shouldn't be so daring, I should say most fuqaha, unless someone may disagree, but most fuqaha, they agree that it is disliked to pray Asr when the sun goes yellow. Is disliked to pray Asr. So if they agree is disliked, that means it's not haram to pray there. It's just disliked. They didn't say you can't pray. All madhahib say is disliked. But you may only pray Asr late when there was a genuine reason that you couldn't pray. You are unable to pray. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam on the day when they were digging the trench, his Asr got missed. He prayed it after Maghrib started. So maybe someone has a genuine reason he couldn't pray. But it shouldn't be, it's only disliked, so I may just pray late anyway. No. This has to be an exception in your routine. You can't just delay salah. That is not acceptable. But all madhahib, as far as I know, or I should say most of the scholars, they say it is disliked to leave Asr that late, that the sun becomes yellow. Okay? Because Nabi Sallallahu said, وَقْتُ الْعَصْرِ مَا لَمْ تَصْفَرَّ الشَّمْسُ, or كما قال Nabi Sallallahu, the time to pray Asr is as long as the sun hasn't become yellow. Now, the time to pray here means, does it mean you're not allowed to pray or it's best to pray before? That's arguable. What Nabi Sallallahu meant. Okay, so some said you must pray before that, like this hadith, and the other said no, you can still pray it, but it has to be an excuse. It's disliked. That hadith means it is disliked, according to some. Okay, and other hadith actually to delay salah for Asr to the time when the sun goes yellow. There is one hadith which is very strong. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said it is a hypocrite who for no reason, right, a hypocrite, he sits there and he waits for salah, the sun to go yellow, then he prays like, a chicken hits the ground, pecks the ground. And he said, تِلْكَ صَلَاةُ الْمُنَافِقِ يَجْلِسُ أَحَدُهُمْ حَتَّى إِذَا أَسْفَرَّتِ الشَّمْسِ حَتَّى إِذَا كَانَتْ بَيْنَ قَرْنَيِ الشَّيْطَانِ قَامَ فَنَقَرَهَا أَرْبَعًا لَا يَذْكُرُ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You understand? That's the prayer of a munafiq. He sits until the sun becomes yellow and is between the horns of shaitan, meaning it's just before the sunset. That's the makruh time to pray, when it's just before the sunset. Okay? And then he gets up and raffles off 4 rakats, hardly remembering Allah. This is not the way to pray. Okay? So that hadith is talking about Baina Qarnay Shaitan. This is when it becomes all the way just before the sunset. So all fuqaha say to leave it that late for no reason, it is disliked. But if it was your fard and you didn't pray it, for the munafiq is the one who for no reason sits there and wait for it to become there. That's not allowed. But you may pray salah if it was genuine reason, even then. Okay?